Hello everyone, welcome to astrologynewsreport.com. Today is May 25th, 2014.
Presenting an alternate view of world events as seen through the lens of Vedic astrology.
I'm Ron Berger.
And I'm David Anton Savage. Let's take a look at the week that was. You know, the world is a complex place with craziness and violence and everyday occurrence. But this past week has been more than the usual level of incidents, and we won't be able to cover everything today.
But we're going to give a stab at it. The Mars-Uranus opposition continues to manifest as conflicts around the globe. Governments versus governments, protesters versus governments, and governments versus rebel groups everywhere you look.
This energy pattern got an extra boost last week due to Mars's ending its retrograde period and therefore being in a stationary condition. When a planet is stationary, it becomes extra strong.
In Mali, the Tuareg Separatists seized local government offices in the town of Kidal, taking hostages and engaging the army in a firefight in which dozens were killed.
They want to create a new state called Azawad out of northern Mali.
In Libya, rival militia groups are fighting for control, threatening to send the country back into chaos and civil war. A rogue general sent his forces to fire upon the Libyan parliament building in Tripoli.
The fragile interim government seems powerless to control what goes on within its borders. The fighting is said to be the worst since the 2011 revolution that ousted longtime leader Muammar Gaddafi.
In Thailand, the army announced last Monday the imposition of martial law to keep law and order. After months of political crisis, the army has also granted itself wide-ranging powers to enforce its decision. And then, on Thursday, the army announced what everyone had been expecting. This is a coup.
The cabinet was told to report to the military. TV broadcasting was suspended and political gatherings banned. A nationwide curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. was put into effect. By the way, this is Thailand's 12th coup since 1932.
The blow-up between Vietnam and China is entering a new phase. Troops, tanks, trucks, artillery, armored personnel carriers of China's military have been seen heading to the Vietnamese border.
Last Thursday, attackers hurled bombs from two SUVs as they plowed through shoppers at a busy market in Urumqi in China's volatile northwest region of Xinjiang. At least 31 people were killed and more than 90 wounded. Chinese authorities have blamed the attack on radical separatists from the country's Muslim Uyghur minority and promised a major crackdown.
And no let-up in Nigeria. Last Tuesday, 2 bombings in the city of Jos, credited to Boko Haram, took the lives of over 100 people. Meanwhile, over 80 U.S. Marines have joined the search for the still missing school children kidnapped last month.
And here in the good old USA, more than 2,000 MacDonald workers, many in their uniforms, swarmed the fast food chain's corporate campus near Chicago, demanding a minimum wage of $15 an hour and the right to unionize.
Chicago police responded by arresting over 100 demonstrators, including labor, clergy, and community leaders, for trespassing on corporate property.
Oh no, can't do that, huh? Well, Jupiter is the planet of support, and for the past couple of weeks it has been in position to send its beneficial trine aspect to Saturn, the planet of the established order.
Last Tuesday, establishment Republicans chalked up another win against the insurgent Tea Party by defeating Tea Party candidates in Republican primary elections in several states.
Also strengthening the established order last week was the deal made between Russia and China, where Russia will be selling China Russian-produced natural gas, and the deal is worth $400 billion.
That's right. Russia needs an alternative customer now that its European market is going sour due to the Ukraine situation, and China needs an alternate energy source to all the coal that it is burning. It's a win-win for the two countries.
Today, Sunday, May 25th, the embattled nation of Ukraine holds presidential elections to form a new government, including a new president. So let's throw up a quick transit chart over the birth chart of Ukraine to try to gain some insights.
Looking at the planetary positions on that day, we see some very tight connections to the natal chart. The exact transits are shown with the red lines.
First off, the planet of rational decisions. Mercury is exactly conjunct the ascendant degree in Gemini. Simultaneously, Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, is exactly conjunct natal K2 in the first house.
The conjunction of Mercury to the ascendant is auspicious, but note that we are talking about the sign Gemini, the most dual sign of the zodiac. Likewise, Jupiter represents beliefs and philosophies, also in Gemini, creating more than one version of beliefs. Since K2 is the significator of the past, the history of this country has a lot to do with the events on this election day.
And then note the conjunction of Saturn, the reality check planet, the planet of the established order, exactly conjunct Ukraine's natal Pluto. Since Pluto represents complete upheaval and regeneration, this combination suggests that any real revolution will not be happening at this time.
Another interesting combination is the Moon K2 Venus conjunction in Aries. Although not directly affecting any natal planets, just the fact that this three-way conjunction occurs on this day is significant. K2 is an idealist, the Moon is the public, and Venus is the planet of peace and harmony.
So it sounds like the outcome will point to some peaceful resolution?
Well, yes, and note that Russian President Putin has now stated he will support the result of the election and is evidently already in talks with the presumed winner, the Ukrainian chocolate oligarch Petro Poroshenko.
And here we have one for the big ideas category. Remember that last week Mercury, the planet of data and ideas, entered Gemini, where it now joins forces with Jupiter, the planet of increase as well as morals and ethics.
Thus, some energy for new ideas about data, with a contribution from the morality planet.
So, in an effort to boost its financial numbers, Italy has announced that it will include prostitution and illegal drug sales in calculations for its official gross domestic product this year.
Okay, I'll leave that one without comment. You can deduce whatever you want from it.
And so we conclude this week's review of the week. Be sure to click in with us next week.